Good morning, and welcome to the semifinal matchup between the varsity Division I Bishop Gorman Gales and the 18U Dallas Penguins. Gorman coming away with a 4-1 win last night over the Music City Marauders. And just before that game, Penguins with a shootout win secure their spot. Tournament started out with 18 teams down to just 4. The Gorman Gales, Dallas Penguins, McKinney North Stars playing their game here shortly next door, and the Florida Golden Wolves. Full lineup for Gorman. No suspensions to speak of. And we should be kicking off the game here in just a little over a minute. If you want to top off the coffee. And we'll get this going. All right, kicking off the first period, Fitzy, Jennings, Klaus, Trent, Luong. And in net, looks like we have Lakoska. Gorman in orange, Penguins in white, yellow, and red. Four referees for the semifinal matchup, as was on the ice last night for the quarterfinals. face-off coming up. Jennings in for the puck drop. And that'll come out in favor of the Penguins. Pass up, chipped in by the Penguins. No on the back check. Battling in the corner. Penguins pick it up. Trent comes back to support, chips it out. Bad bounce, out of reach of Klaus. Shot stuffed by Trent. As Jennings sends it around to Fitzy on the far side. Takes a hit, chips it, couldn't clear. And Luong sends it over. Klaus with a bouncing puck into Penguin territory. Gorman will go for a change. Jennings on the back check. Westwood on the ice as Gorman tries to change some lines. Fish joining the party. Westwood along the near wall, working with Posner. Baldy, the other defenseman. Gorman chips it up, kept in play by the Penguins. Gorman stuffed in their own zone. Baldy in the corner. Loose out front. Back out to the blue line. Shot off the leg of Posner, and we're going to blow the dead here as the net came off in the scrum. All right. Gorman comes away with a puck. Godino chips it in. Right of the net. Fish comes in. Sends it back the other way. Penguins have it in the corner. Send it around the boards. Kept in play by Fish along the wall. And Penguins will send it in. That will be an ice. And it's going to come on back into Penguin territory. Larson and Rubino at the blue line. Fish in for the faceoff. Penguins win it back behind their goal line. Make their way through the neutral zone. Send it in. Off a stick, no icing. Rubino working along the wall, chips it up. Kept in play by the Penguins. Send it back. And Godino has it on the far wall. Couldn't connect. Shot sent wide off the pads of Lukoska. Larson chips it up. Westwood's got a man on him. Penguins shot up and over. Bounces out along the far wall. Penguins trying to chip it into the slot. Picked up by Gorman. And Rubino sends it out. Gorman stuffed in their zone. And the Penguins will reload. In comes Creel. Forces a dump, and that is going to be an icing. It's going to come on back into Penguin territory. Kerr in for the faceoff. Wins it back. Luong shot off the shins. And icing waved off. Puck comes out. Cash Johnson sends it to Creel along the far wall. Chips it in. Takes a hit. And puck cleared out of the zone. Trent chips it up. Johnson feeds it across, trying to hit Kerr. And Gorman wires it in, and we'll go for a change. Creel stays on. Davis and Mesa in for Gorman. Davis chips it just left of the net. Drops it back for Creel. Davis sends it to the blue line and couldn't be held in. Posner regrouping, brings it back around. Sends it in the other way. Gorman's going to turn around and bring it back into the zone. Mess on the forecheck. And Penguins send it in the zone. Buck left behind for Davis. Davis bounces it up, tipped down by Tritton. And Gorman was going to go for a change. Larson walks it up, sends it, shot, goal! And Gormans go up by 1. Klaus gets the first goal of the game to give Gorman the lead. With 10:24 remaining in the first period. Penguins win the faceoff, regroup back in their zone. Stretch pass, no one there. And that will be an icing that's going to come on back to the right. Fitzy in for the puck drop, wins it back to the blue line. Rubino sends it back down. Fitzy battling for position, back behind the net, center on the boards. Bad bounce. And squeaks past Rubino along the wall. Larison on the back check, it's tied up. Battling back behind the net, Rubino sends it around the boards. Klaus tied up, makes the clear, sends it down, soft pass down. No icing. Fitzy trying to feed it back through the slot. Makes the pass to Jennings. Jennings looking for space, sends it across the blue line. Shot, Luong off a body, still alive. Drop back to Trent. Shot, loose. And covered by the goalie. .27 remaining in the first period. Shots on goal tied at 2-2. Gorman with a 1-goal lead. Fish in for the faceoff. Penguins win it back into their corner. Battling down low, Godino. Westwood almost got a shot off. And the Penguins bring it down along the far side. Luong on the back check. Makes it there first, battling with Fish back behind the net. Trent chips it up, sends it across. Gorman sends it wide. Penguins are going to keep it in the zone and send it around the boards. Westwood shuffles it up, kept in play, shot off a leg. And they're going to wire it down, tip down, and Penguins wire it the other way. That will be another icing. And the faceoff will come over to the right. Fish in for the faceoff. Comes out, Penguins have it, poke checked out. Godino sends it left of the net on the forecheck. Battling in the corner. Not enough. To held in 2-on-1 the other way. Shot, save Lakoska. And the puck still in Gorman territory, cleared. And Godino forces them to send it around the boards. To the far side, Fish comes in to close off the exit. Sent around the near side, Westwood in pursuit. Squeaks by and Baldy's gonna grab that, center ice. Feeds it up, bad bounce. And Gorman Gorman on the power play. Davis sends it around the boards. Pass out to the far wall, high in the slot. Loose out front, sent wide. High in the slot, Creel on the press. Gorman comes away with it. Creel chips it up, takes a hit, and the Penguins are going to bring it back the other way. Fitz in for Gorman. Rubino presses the Penguin off the puck. Puck sent around the boards, kept in the corner. Larison battling down low. Larry gets a stick in there. Fitzy sends it down. 21 seconds left on the penalty kill for Gorman. Luong, Jennings, Trent, and Fitzy. Chipped in by the Penguins along the near wall. Ref in the way. Gorman's able to pick that one up and sends it to the opposite corner. Gorman back to full strength. Kerr comes out of the box with a hit. Boys will tag up. Jennings along the far board. Gives a hit. Short side shot, Kerr. Coming out of the box from the too many men penalty. Kerr battling. Blue line. Back to Kerr. Cycled back down low. Jennings drops it back to Godino. Sends it around the boards. Kerr in pursuit. Going to be just out of reach. Puck in the slot. Picked up by Godino. Feeds it through. Jennings shot. Loosed in the crease. Cleared. Kept in play by Trent. Sends it out to Jennings. Jennings. Long shot. On the rebound. Penguins pick it up. And Fish with a monster hit. Shot off Fish as he's creating some traffic. Comes out to Luong at the blue line. Out to Trent, near side, shot. Glove save. .521 on the clock. Kerr in for the faceoff, wins it back to Baldy. Baldy walks it up, shot off the blocker, comes out. Fed back down low by Posner. Cash Johnson back behind the goal line. Kerr and Johnson playing catch. Comes out, Posner shot off the pads. Follow-up shot by Baldy, up and over. Loose out front. And Creel on the back check. Picked up by Gorman. Kerr drops it back to Cash Johnson. Sends it through. Out to Posner. Couldn't connect on the shot. And it's going to come back the other way. Penguins send it in. Davis going to pick it up. Sends it around the boards to Posner. Posner looking for a lane. Out to Johnson. Davis comes in. Penguins send it in. Davis with a hit. Baldy lobs it up. Glove down by Davis. Back to Baldy. Turned over. Lost an edge. And save Lakoska. Shot goes wide. Through the crease. 3:59 remaining on the clock. All right. Face-off coming up in Gorman territory. Tritton, Davis, Mesa. Gorman. Davis in for the faceoff. Larison picks it up, chips it out, takes a hit in the process. Sent the other way, no icing. Davis comes in, close it off, battling with Mesa along the boards. Chipped by Rubino, back checking the other way. At the feet of Rubino, kicks up the Tritton, couldn't get the clear. Gorman cycles back the other way. Bouncing puck, clears the zone. Gorman will squeeze in a change, got a man around the boards down near. Picked up by Mesa. Mesa walks it up. He's got Jennings with him. Tritton in the slot. Mesa sends it behind the slot. Shot off a body, loose out front, sent along the far wall. And the Penguins going to bring it back the other way. They opt to dump it down in Gorman territory. Fitzy sends it along the near boards. Penguins maintain possession. Puck checked out. And Trent on the forecheck. And draws a hooking penalty in the process as the Penguins are going to head to the penalty box and give Gorman a power play. It's like number 10 for Gorman during the back check. Power play coming up. Godino, Westwood, Fish, Creel, and Trent. Fish in for the faceoff, wins it back. Tommy Trent, high in the slot. Near wall, Westwood, shot. Glove save. Gorman wins it back. Kept in play by Godino, and that clears actually. Chipped up. Fish makes the zone. Cross-ice pass to Westwood near wall. Send it back to the blue line. Trent got Godino on the far side. Godino high in the slot. Trent. Westwood. Shot. Goal! And Gorman makes it a 2-0 game. On the power play, Westwood puts the Gales up 2-0. Kerr in for the faceoff, sends it back. Baldy at the blue line. Posner and Baldy chip it up, and that's off a stick. No icing. To the amazement of the Penguin parents. Off a stick, not icing. Johnson battling down low with Creel. Johnson, one-man army behind the goal line. Creel comes in to pick up the loose puck. Shot off a skate. Goal! And Kerr makes it a 3-0 game with a minute and a half left in the first period. Shots on goal now 13-4 in favor of the Gales. As a reminder, there will be an ice cut coming up between the second and third period. Jennings in for the faceoff. Klaus on the right with Fitzy. Penguins send it down lower in their own territory. Klaus comes in, stick lift. Picked up by Fitz, sends it to Trent. Trent's got a man on him, sends it back down low, dodges a hit. Loose at the faceoff circle. And Fitzy Sends it around the boards to Jennings. Jennings fits, shot, goal! And Gorman starts piling it on early in the first period. A minute left. Gorman has a 4-0 lead. Minute left in the period. Jennings wins it just out of reach of Klaus, though, and Penguins bring it back the other way. Picked up by Luong. Luong drops it back. Klaus has to come in to support. Jennings along the near wall, sends it across. Almost picked off by the Penguins. Fitzy brings it in the slot. Shot off the pads. Trent shot denied off a stick. Davison, Tritton come in. Off a body, it's a foot race the other way. Lakoska comes in, sends it out to clear the zone. 24 seconds left, turned over to Tritton. Tripped, shot, goal! And Tritton makes it a 5-0 game with a turnover at the blue line with 19 seconds remaining in the first period. 5-0 the score. Apparently the recipe is less sleep. Davison for the faceoff, center ice. Penguins win it back, a little too hot to handle. And Tritton on the press, fresh off the goal on a turnover. Penguins couldn't connect on the breakout pass. Shuffle back the other way. Comes out to Davis. Chips it across, off the skate. Picked up by Tritton. Sends it high in the slot, and that'll wrap up the first period. As we head into our first intermission, Penguins looking to slow the game down just a little bit. As Gorman coming in heavy early on. And something to be said about traveling east. 6 a.m. game, Pacific time. Boys up at 4:35 a.m. and coming in and showing up. Game 1 of the series, a lot of boys not flying in until 2 or 3 in the morning, a few hours before puck drop. Gorman with a 2-0 win to kick off the weekend. And second period coming up. Gorman kicking off. Second period, 5-0. Shots on goal, 15-4 in favor of the Gales. Fish, Godino, Westwood, Luong, and Trent. Fish in for the faceoff. Loose at the feet. Comes out to Trent. Trent chips it off the boards to Godino. Bouncing puck at the blue line. And he'll send it in. Down low, the Penguins bring it back the other way. Luong fishes it through, comes out to Trent. He's got a man on him. Sauce pass tipped down by the Penguins, gloved down, and Gorman's gonna have to tag up. Fish sends it in, takes another hit at the boards. And the Penguins bring it back the other direction, bring it in the zone. Pass out to the far side, off a skate, shot. Off pad, goes wide. Westwood down low in Gorman territory, brings it through. Now Fish. Fish sends it right at the net. Goalie chips it off to the side. Westwood and Fish working in the corner. Picked up, almost picked up by Creel. Penguins bring it back the other way. Rubino on the press. Poke checks it off. Has a pin just outside the blue line. Westwood to Kerr. Kerr Sends it in, denied. Creel with a monster hit down low. And I'm going to go ahead and mute the mic here just for a bit. All right. Player up. Gorman will be on the PK. .38 remaining in the second period. And looks like Creel escorted out. And Creel sent to the locker room. Gorman down a player. All right, 5-on-4. Creel to the locker. Two minutes on the board. I'll have to fix the penalty in a bit. Buck in the near corner. Penguins send it across, far side. Shot, save, Lakoska. .158 left in the penalty. Tritton serving the penalty for Creel. It's called a 2 and a 10 and a misconduct. Boarding the main infraction and felt it was egregious. And we are resetting. Sorry, it is 3:58. That was a major. We're going to come back and fix that later. Gorman going to be down for 4 minutes. Fitzy get the clear. Off the skate of Jennings. Fitzy on the approach, presses him off the puck. And Penguins will bring it back the other way. Shot sent wide by Lakoska. Back behind the net, picked up by Larison. Larison, he's going to skate it out. He's got room. Fitz goes in for a change. Sent across, no one there. Larison staying high. 3:10 remaining as I work to fix the clock. .301. And we have a stoppage play. 2:54 remaining. And we have another penalty now. Looks like Baldy. Jennings, Davis, and Trent now for the PK. Loose at the feet. Loose out front, Davis with the stop. Pass back around at the blue line, in the slot. Opposite side, loose out front. And covered loose. And they blow that one dead. 2:29 left on the first penalty. 1:05 remaining in the second. All right. Line change for Gorman, Godino, Larison, and Fitzy now for the 5-on-3. About 12 minutes left in the period. Gorman wins it, chips it out, picked up at the blue line. Pass along the blue line, high in the slot. Penguins send it along the near boards. Number 74 is going to circle it around. Back to high, near. Off the bumper, loose. Save Lakoska. .42 remaining, 47 seconds on one penalty, 2:11 on the other. Godino, Fitzy, and Trent. Puck comes out to Trent. Off a skate, and it's a foot race the other way. Godino on the forecheck. Trying to keep him honest down in their zone. And he comes away with it. He's got Fitzy out front. Godino in the corner by himself. Kills about 20 seconds off the clock. And Penguins have the other way, 3-on-1. And couldn't connect for the opportunity. And Fitzy's going to bring it back 1-on-1 the other way. 12 seconds left. Dingles it through. Gives and gets a hit. And he's going to go for a change. Rubino now at defense with Trent. Jennings slow to get off the bench. Baldy comes on, high in the slot. Shot, pad save. Penguins high in the slot, near wall. Picked up by Jennings, and he's going to send it the other way. 5-on-4 with 1:05 remaining. Kerr and Jennings there for Gorman. Player lost an edge. Penguins bring it to the zone. Rubino working in the near corner. Dropped back. Larison comes in to support. Back behind the goal line. Kerr. And Gorman gets the clear off the ref's leg, though. Didn't get as far as Gorman would like. 31 seconds remaining. And forced back in their territory are the Penguins. Number 6 is going to bring it through. Pass along the far wall. Shot wide. And Mesa comes in for Gorman. 12 seconds left. Chipped off the boards. Cleared. No icing as we are still a man down. Mesa, Davis, Larison, and Luong. Gorman kills the major. Penguins take an icing at the end of it, and we are back to full strength with the faceoff coming up in Penguin territory. 9:30 remaining in the second period. Gorman with a 5-0 lead, killing off a major penalty. Davison for the faceoff. It's loose. Penguins pick that one up. Dump it in the zone. Long on the back check. Trent battling in the corner with Mesa. Trent comes in, shot off a skate, and Mesa has that one. Gets turned over. Davis picks it up in the neutral zone, sends it wide out to Tritton. Tritton trying to center it. Goes out to the far wall. Out to Tritton. Tritton with a goal earlier off the glove of Mesa. Luong going to step up. Pinned in the corner is Luong. Mesa comes in to support. Davis at the blue line for Luong playing up. Trent's going to go in for a change. In comes Posner. And player gets dropped. There's going to be a penalty coming up on the Penguins. And Gorman is going to go on the power play, as number 61 is going to head to the box for the Penguins. 8:27 remaining in the second period. There will be a cut between the second and third. Jennings, Westwood, Trent, Godino, and Fish on for the power play. Fish in for the puck drop. Loose at the feet. Gonna get picked up by Jennings. Pass out to Westwood. Close call there. Trent at the QB position. Shot, tip, just off the leg of the goalie. His right pad, and Penguins get the clear. Godino soaring through the neutral zone. Sent around the boards, out to Trent's got a man on him. Feeds back the other way to Jennings. Couldn't hold on to that one, and they're gonna wire it. Lakoska comes out as Trent brings it through. Trent out to Godino, high in the slot, back to Trent along the near wall. He's gonna cycle it back down as Fish comes in. Poke checked off his stick. Out to Westwood. Fish, shot off the post, down low and out into the far corner. 8 seconds remaining on the power play for Gorman. Gorman trying to fish it out of the corner. They do. Westwood, they're back to full strength. And net came off. All right, face-off coming up in Penguin territory. Davis. Mesa, Tritton, Rubino, and Larison. And Davis waved off. Mesa comes in for the puck drop, wins it back to Rubino. Shot off a body. He's able to field it again. Tritton chips it over. Couldn't get it in the zone fully. He's going to get picked up by Larison. Larison brings it in. Shot. And Penguins bring it back the other way. Gorman gets the clear. And Penguins are going to send it around the boards. Stop back behind the net by Lakoska. Breakout pass, couldn't connect. And the Penguins will send it around the near side. Out to Tritton. Tritton chips it across. Mesa on the rush, couldn't get there in time. Davis comes in, picks it up, on the slot, shot, loose. Goalie with back-to-back shots. Davis sends it back to Baldy, chipped up, and that'll be in the netting. Kerr in for the face-off. Waiting for a Penguin to hit the bench. There we go. Kerr wins the face-off back. Klaus comes in to support. Blue line pass out to Posner, still in play. Nope, he's gonna have to regroup. Takes a hit along the boards. And Penguins pick it up. Shot off the leg of Baldy. Klaus couldn't clear. He's got a man with him. Chipped up out to Posner. Posner sends it out to Cash Johnson. Was going to take a hit, but gave it instead. Breakout pass lost at the feet. Baldy battling for position. Chipped up to Cash Johnson, who wires it in, no icing. And Klaus working back behind the goal line, tripped up, and the net definitely came off that time as Klaus was pushed into the netting. .454 remaining in the second period. There will be an ice cut in between periods. Face-off coming up on the Penguin side of the ice. Godino in for the face-off. Fish, Westwood, Luong, and Trent. Puck comes out into the near corner. Out to Luong. Ran out of room. Godino's going to cycle it back down low. Westwood and Godino battling with 3 Penguins. And it's a foot race the other way. Likoska comes out, shot, sends it out, clears the zone. Drop back pass picked up by the Penguins. Penguins bring it back the other way. Westwood with a huge hit, goal on the other side. And Dallas makes it a 5-1 game. Jennings in for the face-off. Fitzy and Klaus with him. Klaus forces the pass, chipped in. Rubino back behind the goal line with Larison. Penguins bringing it along the near wall. Pass up to the blue line. Shot goes wide. Penguins keep it in. Shot angled off the feet. Ref almost takes a hit, and Gorman's going to be on the rush the other way. 3-on-2, chipped up. No icing on that one. Penguins wire back the other direction. And Rubino feeds it out to Baldy. Out to Fitzy, battling at the wall, and the Penguins couldn't clearly send it in. Rubino chips it off the boards out to Klaus. And Klaus is going to take a penalty. 3 minutes left. Looks like Gorman going to take a penalty here. Number 91 will head to the box. Shots on goal, 20-9 in favor of Gorman. Gorman with a 5-1 lead heading in. Gorman will be on the penalty kill. Kerr, Davis, Trent, and Luong. Kerr in for the puck drop. Wins it back. Back out to the blue line. That was off. And faceoff's going to come out into the neutral zone. .121 remaining. Kerr in for the puck drop. Comes out to Davis. He's going to regroup with Luong. Luong sends it for a Hail Mary. Kerr going to work down low. Davis at the blue line. And the Penguins going to send it in. Kerr with a hit at the blue line. Trent closes it off, comes away with it. And Trent's going to bring it back. 2-on-1 the other way. He's got Kerr with him. Sends it across, trying to hit Kerr. Pass out to there, Davis by himself. Davis sends it back the other way to Luong. Luong clears it. 35 seconds remaining. Gorman going for a full change. Stretch pass picked up by Larison. Center ice, and he's going to wire back down the other way. Fitzy in pursuit. He's going to beat the man to it. And Penguins come away with it. Jennings and Fitzy for your forward crew. Sent back the other way, kept in play by the Penguins. And Fitzy, sorry. Gorman gets the clear. And we are back to full strength. Jennings sends it across, picked up by the Penguins at the hash marks. Loose out front, shot Jennings, sent wide off the pad. Mesa in at the bumper position. Gorman getting a change in at the blue line. About 53-ish seconds left before the ice cut. Face-off going to come up in neutral zone. Kerr, Mesa, Johnson, Baldy, and Posner. Penguins lob it down. Opportunity the other way. No one there for Gorman. Shot off the pad of Lakoska with the save. 40 seconds remaining. Gorman needing to get this out of the zone. Don't want to get pinned in late in the second with the long change. Not that there's much time. Puck sent back down low. Baldy cycles it back out to Posner. Out to Kerr. Kerr sends a bouncing puck down. 14 seconds left. As the fish line comes out with Luong and Trent after an icing. .4 seconds remaining. Face-off coming up to the right of Lakoska. Trying to close this one out with the lead. Chipped out by Gudino. 5 seconds left. Shot off a stick and into the netting. Gudino with an opportunity here. We'll see if they want to pull Lakoska out to try to get a quick one. No, they're going to keep him there. Try to squeeze in a sixth player. Gorman lining up for an opportunity at the hash marks. Gudino with a shot off the face-off, and that'll close this one out. As we head into the second period, again, there will be an ice cut. We'll see you in a few minutes. right, getting ready to kick off the third period. Gorman with a 5-1 lead, needing to hold it down and close it out. Shots on goal, 21-10 in favor of the Gales. Earlier in the game, major penalty and ejection of Creel on a boarding call. Gorman down a man. And Gorman needing to finish strong. Close out the third. Both teams starting full strength. Starting lineup for the third: Klaus, Fitz, Jennings, Trent, and Luong. Face off, comes out in favor of Gorman. Luong walks it up, makes the line, and he wires it in. On pad, save. Klaus comes in, tipped down by Jennings. Luong wires it around the boards. Fitzy gonna get there for Gorman in the far corner. Feeds it back to Trent, held in, chipped back up, chipped further over the stick of Jennings as he had Klaus through the center. Luong pinches up, Penguins work their way around, and it comes out. Trent chips it up to Jennings, and the Penguins will grab that in the neutral zone. As Gorman goes for a change, Trent brings it back behind the net. He's got Klaus on a stretch. Couldn't get enough on that one, and the Penguins are going to pick it up. Fish comes in. Godino with the press, and that's going to be offsides. Trent trying to hit Klaus at the Penguin blue line, but picked off. .14:06 remaining. And we'll have a face-off here in the neutral zone. Face-off comes out to Gorman. Gorman chips it in. Penguins pick it up outside the face-off circle. Drop back to Larison, to Fish. Fish sends it in. Larry tied up back behind the play, comes out, kept in by Godino, walking the blue line, and he's going to regroup. Nope, he's going to hold it at the blue line. And Gorman brings it in, poke checked off, body slamming on Godino. And stoppage of play here. Don't see an arm up. Looks like we just have a stoppage. Lines shuffled around with Creel's absence. Johnson, Kerr, Tritton, Baldy, and Posner goes out into Penguins' corner. Johnson pins him to the wall. Tritton closes it off on the other side. Kerr coming in to support Penguins. Poke it through, come back the other way, comes back. Sorry, Johnson comes back, picks it up, ships it off the boards. Penguins going to grab that one in the neutral zone, and they send it in Gorman territory. Gorman needing to keep pressure in Penguin zone to close this one out with confidence. Kerr along the near wall, sends it out, feet of Tritton. Tritton couldn't grab that one, and Penguins send it back in. Johnson dangles through. Posner couldn't get the clear. Penguins send it back in the Gorman zone. Gorman really needing to bring this one out. Baldy couldn't get the clear. Sends it back to Posner, couldn't connect. Baldy chips it out to Mesa. Mesa to Kerr, gets tied up. Mesa again along the near board, and Kerr sends it out. Fitz in to force the pass. Kerr comes over, player tripped on the blue line. He'll go for a change. Davison at center, chipped in by the Penguins. Trent in the corner. Davis comes in to support, comes out. Davis picks it up, dangles through, poke checked off the stick. Trent on the far board, sends it out. Luong in pursuit. Out to Davis. Davis chips it up. Kept in by the Penguins. Gorman gets the clear. And Penguins are going to regroup at their blue line. Penguins playing strong in the third. Dingled through, shot off the blocker, sent wide. Comes out to Davis. Davis chips it up to Klaus. Klaus takes a hit. Luong comes in. Dumps it in. Klaus on the forecheck. And Penguins bring it along the near side. Chip it through. Sends it back. Luong on the back check, causing havoc. Larison dodges a hit. Penguins still have it in. Jennings pins him to the boards. Sent back down low. Gorman sends it around the other side. Cycle back through. He's got Larison. Klaus out on the other side. He's got an opportunity. And they're going to call that offsides as he was receiving it at the blue line. And the faceoff going to come out into Gorman territory. 10:41 remaining in the third. Starting to do this faceoff in the neutral zone. Westwood on the press, chipped in. Nope, that's going to be an icing. Did not make contact. And it'll come on over to the right. Fish, Godino, Westwood, Larison, and Rubino. Puck comes out for the Penguins. Larison picks that one up in the neutral zone. Going to regroup with Rubino. Back to Larison. Sends it up. Sent back down low. Godino on the approach. Godino almost picks it up. Westwood feeds it down low. Godino by himself. Shot just off the blocker and outside the net. And that's wired back the other way. And that will be waved off. No icing. Pass out to Westwood. To Fish. Takes a hit. Godino forces Penguins to regroup at their hash mark. Turned over to Baldy. Baldy out to Godino. 1-on-2, 2-on-2 with Westwood. Sends it across loose. Goalie sends it aside into the near corner. Out to Fish. Fish to Baldy. Baldy. Posner's got a man on him. He's going to feed it back down low as he had a man coming in hot. Set back the other way. Godino. Westwood. Godino. 9:19. Gorman just trying to kill this one off. Shot. Loose out front. And the Penguins bring it around the other side. Glove down by Baldy. Kept in play. Baldy dangles it through. Tritton comes in at wing. Gorman playing with the man deep. Kept in play by Baldy. Baldy couldn't hold on to it. And the Penguins come through. And that'll be offsides. And we will have a face-off here in the neutral zone with 8:52 remaining in the third. Shots on goal 25-11 in favor of the Gales. Mesa back on the ice after taking a quick break. Penguins feed it into Gorman zone. Gorman sends it out wide. Tritton feeds it across. Looking for the other winger. Stretch pass the other way. Puck checked off by Trent. Trent feeds it across to Tritton. Shot by Tritton off the blocker. Cash Johnson trying to feed it back down low. Kerr comes into support. Comes away with it. He's got Tritton. Shot tied up. Tritton feeds it back out to the blue line. Trent feeds it back up. Kerr, sorry, Johnson with a check in the back. Pass comes out. Luong feeds it back down low, past the Penguins. Penguins regroup at the hash marks, chip it back down into Gorman's zone. Not enough for an icing. Trent's got room. He's going to cycle back. No real urgency needed from Gorman, but Gorman needs to keep the pressure. 7:37 remaining. It's going to get picked up by Larson, fed back the other way. Pass dropped. Klaus gives a hit, kicks it down. Shot off the pad. Jennings and Fitzy working back behind the goal line. Klaus outside the crease. Larson and Rubino at the blue line with 7:15 remaining. Penguins come away with it. Turned over. Jennings pokes it out to the far side. And Penguins will bring it back the other way. Fitzy going to get there for Gorman, trying to feed it back to Larson. Larson chips it back down low. Gloved in. Couldn't keep it in. He's going to send it in. Boys will tag up and have to go on the forecheck. Penguins with a stretch pass to their blue line. Send it in on net, chipped up and out of play. And Gorman will have a defensive zone face-off coming up. Tritton, Davis, Mesa, Baldy, and Posner. 6:34 remaining in the third. Davis in for the face-off. Penguins come in and pick it off on its way back. Shot into the netting. Off the stick of one of the Gales. And we will reset here to the left of Lukaska. .622. Penguins win the faceoff back to their blue line. Cross-ice pass, shoveled down low. Off the skate, and Trenton's going to bring it back the other way. Brings it across. Penguins pick that one up, bring it through. And Gorman's going to go on the penalty kill. Davis is going to head to the box for a tripping, I believe. Made contact going for the puck. Late dodge of the hit and tied up at the legs. And Gorman's going to go on the penalty kill with 6:03 remaining. And they're going to throw another player in the box. They're going to say kneeing. Sending two in the box. Not sure how they're going to call this one. Davis may be taking a major. Not sure. In any event, we'll update it here in a bit. It might be a 2 and a 10. Fitzy intercepts it, sends it back down. Opportunity the other way, though. And couldn't get the shot off. Pass out to the near wall. High in the slot, back to the near wall. Penguins couldn't connect. Fitz on the rush, couldn't get there in time. Almost had an opportunity. He's just going to wire it down instead. I believe this will probably close out the game for Davis, as they have two in the box. Tritton serving the penalty in his stead. Godino going to send it into the opposite corner. 30 seconds left on the penalty kill. Kerr's going to get there first for Gorman. Shot loose up front. Godino working down low as well. Follow-up shot goes left of the net. Bouncing Kerr, trying to keep it in play. Funnels it back down. And Penguins going to regroup at their goal line. Godino worked down low, almost forced a turnover with just his presence. Godino couldn't get the clearing pass or shot off. Godino kicks it out, and Gorman is for sure back to full strength, and that'll be an icing with 4:15 remaining. All right. 4:15 remaining in the third. Shots on goal, 28-13 in favor of the Gales. Bouncing puck through the neutral zone off the faceoff win. Fitz, poke checks it down, gives a hit. And Penguins unable to operate doors. Must be the lack of thumbs. Thankfully, everybody okay. 4:06 remaining. Posner Fish sends it up to Fitzy, drops it back. Kerr comes in, sends it back the other way. Fitz regroups back behind the goal line. Kerr to Fitz. Loose out front. Crashing. Johnson couldn't connect. Creel on the back check. Pass up. Cycled back down. And that's going to be another penalty for Gorman. Kerr. And we'll see how they assess this one. All right, Kerr joining Davis in the box. And putting a minute 30 on there. His just a 2-minute for roughing. Gorman on the penalty kill. Still winning 5-1 with 3:35 remaining, minute and a half on the board. Gorman with needing to have a little bit more discipline. Kick back in play by the Penguins. Maintain the zone. Almost poke checked out by Jennings. Trent forces him out the other side. Far wall. Godino on the press. Back high to the blue line. No one there on the near wall. Almost cleared by Trent. Cross pass couldn't be fielded by the Penguins. Out to the face-off. Shot. Short side. Save Lukoska. Gorman unable to get the clear. 51 seconds remaining. Missed pass. And Godino battling through. He's got Jennings with him. Outside the crease. Goalie's going to send it off to the side. Penguins bring it in the zone. And Larison chips it back across. 24 seconds left on the PK. And that chipped up into the face mask of the Penguin player. He's going to walk over to the bench. Unfortunate chip. Larry without a stick. And they're going to blow that one down for a stoppage. Technically have 1 second remaining on the penalty kill. All right, face-off coming up in Penguin territory. Fish, Fitzgerald, Posner, and Baldy. 2:06 remaining in the period. Gorman wins it back. Not enough to pinch up. Baldy plays it safe. Fitzy wires it back down low. Kerr heads to the bench. Gorman full strength. Westwood forces a pass, almost picked off by Fish. Fish battling for position, forces him to the boards, hard hit, chipped up. Westwood almost gets there at the blue line. Tritton in for Gorman. Forced wide by Tritton, makes the line, that'll be offsides as the Penguin tries sliding. Back to onsides. And 1:34 remaining. Gorman, all indications, punching their ticket to the championship game. Pass out wide. Back into Gorman territory. Baldy sends it off the glass. Tipped down by Tritton, so it didn't go all the way. Penguin stretched. Out, poke checked. Back to a Penguin. Bouncing puck left of the net. Sorry, right of the net. Baldy shovels it out, and that'll be an icing, and I will spare you the quick pan. .109 with the clock correction. Clausen for the face-off. Mesa and Tritton. Penguins get it back behind Gorman goal line. Gorman lobs it out, and I'll spare you another one. Hold the Dramamine. Fitz in for the face-off. Shot off a body. Johnson brings it through, bounces it through the neutral zone. Penguins reload the other direction. Trent shovels it out to Fitz. Johnson sends it softly through. No icing on this one. Jennings goes in, scares him off the puck. 33 seconds remaining. Jennings, no stick, kicks it over, soccer style, as Fitzy sends it back in the corner. Puck wired along the boards to the far side. Jennings retrieving the lumber in the corner. Puck comes out to Trent. Trent is going to cycle back around. That'll just about close it out unless Penguins want to. Yep, they do. They want to flush it out. And that'll wrap it up. Gorman heading to the championship game. All right, that'll close out this one. Championship game coming up today, 1 p.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Pacific. And everywhere else, you can do the math. All right, next door is the other semifinal game. And we'll check in there and see. Looks like they have not posted. It's either 0-0 still, or they are not updating their scores. So stick around and be ready in a few hours. As always, thank you for watching. All right, for those who are still here, it's come to my attention the next game, championship game, is in the rink next to us, which does not have internet service, nor does it have internet via multiple cell phone providers. So what we will do is our best to broadcast. Live barn, I'm told, is here at this rink on that sheet. If you want to sign up there for that. The game, like I said, I will broadcast if possible. And if nothing else, we'll record the game and upload later. So apologies up front for probably not having as good of a stream as usual, or as I try to. And we'll see what this afternoon holds.